What would you do if you were the last person on Earth but household utilities, water, electricity, internet still work properly? Very little would actually change. Except not having to go to work. A bit more breaking and entering for food and a lot more public nudity. It's not breaking and entering if no one else lives anywhere. It's all yours, baby. Ha ha ha. I'd ration out the buildings and try to profile the people who lived in them as a semi-social activity. Like reading a new book every week. I used to clean out foreclosed homes and this game is sad. You probably end up killing yourself. Well, yay. For foreclosed homes it would be. But everyone disappeared, so it's not the case that every empty house he visits used to belong to someone desolate who is on hard times and depressed. Like foreclosed homes are. Travel around staying in mansions and cool places. Use the internet to learn how to fly a plane so I can travel further. But I'd probably crash on my first try, so that would end things pretty quickly. Flight simulator is a thing. Computer will crash on the first try. Knowing me, I'd open Reddit. Close it and open it again. Probably check out places that were previously off limits. Fort Knox. Area 51. See if there's really a hall of records underneath the Sphinx. Seed bank. Etc. Undefined. You know how to fly a plane? Really going to want that skill set if you plan to travel to all of those. Not really. You now have all the time in the world to see the sights on the way to these places. Good luck crossing the Atlantic then. Bering Straits. Go west, not east. I've always wanted to live in a big grocery store. Just walk around and eat whatever I want. The dream. Until it all goes out of date, lol, undefined. I would definitely pick up some of those vacuum sealer things and start keeping and freezing as much as possible. Since utilities will still be working, you can toss out the junk from the frozen/refrigerated sections and use them to store your vacuum sealed food. Plus you'd have all the time and space needed to grow your own food. You can't grow Oreo cookies. Not with that mindset, you can't. Browse Reddit until there's no more content to read. Bots would continue to post. Nothing but repost after repost. So basically the same. I fully believe like 20% of Reddit is bots pretending to be humans to generate legitimate looking accounts for corporate or political use. So I'm pretty sure Reddit would look exactly the same. Everyone on Reddit is a bot except you. Everyone on Reddit is a bot except you. Comment last in every YouTube video. That would take some time, man. Build a bot that does it for me. The programming tutorial video ends on how to build a YouTube comment bot, episode 121 more EP. To go. Because the Indian guy making it are gone. This made me shed a tear. Imagine that. Probably sleep and have a wank tbh. Wait. That's just everyday life. Not if you do it in public. It's not public if no one is there though. Could be animals around? I would commence to wonder. If all those utilities, water, electricity, internet, etc., worked on their own, why did I pay all those monthly bills? No. They need to be paid. It's just that aliens feel bad for you being the last one alive, so as pity they're paying for it for you. They need to be paid. You have to seal them with tar? Get a boat and a car. I don't trust myself to fly a plane and see the sights of the world in peace. You trust yourself to navigate a boat across the ocean? Got nothing better to do. Wanking? I hear that there is a fair amount of porn on the internet. What if your kink is new content? Record your own wanking, post on the internet, then wank to it. Then record yourself wanking to that and you have an infinite loop. Probably search for another living person the rest of my life. Isn't that what we all do with our lives anyway? Try to find someone you can tolerate, who also tolerates you, and also happens to have correctly oriented organs compared to yours. Damn. Deep. Find a sweet house on the coast reasonably close to a grocery store and gardening store. Lowe's/Home Depot as well. Maybe a gun store as well. Though that could be a once-in-a-while trip. Love to find a 3080 graphics card. But those would somehow still be scarce. There's a building named Linus Media Group in Canada. I think you can find half the world's stocks there. You just have to find the ones that work among the ones that have been dropped. I see a lot of people saying they'd have a wank. Would you not at least go get the most realistic sex doll you could find? Op said you're the last person on Earth. Never said anything about animals. Geez. Wrong vowel, I think you meant jizz. The most correct answer. I'll steal my neighbor's food and watch YouTube. You can do that now too. Head to the Pentagon, NASA, and Area 51 and get a ride that can go find the rest of you for leaving me. Why? They said last person, not last creature. Aliens aren't human. I'd find the Greys in Area 51. Raid a dispensary. And have a pinballer time with the ALM mouse. Waste my time to create another human. To be fair, depending on your gender, you could create one with preserved material from the opposite sex. Alternatively, there would absolutely be laboratories already set up that you could find to try doing it yourself if you are of the male gender yourself. I think it would be easier to create it for a woman. You unfreeze some sperm and you impregnate yourself. There is the risk of pregnancy and child labor, but it's less challenging to handle this alone naturally than to sustain a baby without a woman to bear it, which is impossible as of now if I were to guess. Go insane. Go steal the keys to the best car I could. Drive to Bev Hills/Hollywood Hills and go live in my dream house. Break into houses and find drugs in spare time. Hunt for food, animals would be in town shortly thereafter. Subsist on found drugs and meat. Live about 5 years like this before dying to something stupid, drug-induced heart attack, car accident, driving 300 miles per hour, etc., and not be able to do surgery on myself. Be satisfied. I feel like most people would do something routine and end up accidentally dying. Or have some kind of medical problem and no way to solve it. I'ma be pretty fucking busy freeing and feeding all the cats, dogs, birds. This made me sad because there's no way you'd get to every pet shop and shelter in time. You don't know my magic powers. I'm like Santa Claus. I'll do it. I'd love to go into a store and break everything like that scene in Zombieland. Also move into Buckingham Palace. If the Eurostar is still running, I'd move into Versailles. Food would be an issue, especially in the long run. Part of me says I'd try to work on a monument or something that proved humans once were here, because most of our structures will be gone in a few centuries. Good point about food. So move to a place where food grows naturally year-round. And has fresh water. I mean, it says that the electricity is always working. So just set up a speep ton of walk-in freezers and fill them with more food than you can ever eat. Go eat a bunch of fruit around the nearest park and you might even get an orchard. First, I would move more than 100 miles away from nuclear reactors, which means I am going to a small coastal city in Mexico where the Pacific has no memory. And I would probably fish. Maybe garden some fruits or whatever and be able to relax. I would also probably end up putting a face on a group of soccer balls and talking to them all the time. Tandy? Even if I was the last person on Earth, I'd go get money from the bank, deposit it into my account and pay my debts. LOL, that's how much my student loans stress me out. Realistic answer here. I feel like it's almost impossible to answer a question like this realistically. You know, a good amount of people would actually just get anxious and or depressed cause they feel like literally everyone else on earth did something without them. I honestly think a high percentage of people would commit suicide. I certainly would at the very least become depressed. Anything fun wouldn't matter. Yeah, like what's the point if you can't share the experience of life with your fellow brothers and sisters? Sadly, a lot of people, me included, would have just as good a chance of dying just cause we don't know how to be sustainable, which would probably add to suicides. Figure out who's a bot. Still posting bot. Plot twist. Everyone does. Wank on the top of as many historical buildings as possible. I can do whatever I want. Homelander low-key living everyone's dream. Finally get enough sleep. There's a wrecking ball crane not too far away already in city center. Impregnate myself with sperm from a sperm bank. Problem solved. My kids can grow up and the women at least can do the same. Assuming the electricity really keeps. Genetic variation eventually, and I'll have someone to talk to in about 6 years. Food would be an issue. So find a good farm/commune and some of the long-lasting prepper companies and make sure I have access to the basics. Then it's a decision of what the point is anymore. Beyond survival, I mean. I don't give up hope. So I guess try to learn and design an interplanetary SOS. It's not likely, but it's something to do. When not working on that, read, write, explore some. Take breaks where I travel a bit maybe? Not sure I'll need to, but it's hard to predict what I'll need. This is all assuming there's not like 7 billion bodies rotting and causing massive disease and killing me almost immediately. Make a bunch of babies out of frozen eggs to save Earth. You're the last human left. The Earth is saved.